Hello, beautiful people. Thank you for joining me today. All right, so today's tutorial is going to be on succulent style cupcakes. As you can see, we have our graham cracker crumbs here that we're going to use to make like dirt, sand, whatever you like to call it. And we have our 6 standard size cupcakes here. We also have all of our colors that we're going to be using, and we are going to go ahead and jump right in because I know you guys are ready to get started. All right, so first we're going to grab this. This is our, I believe it's either a 1A or 2A, 1A. Piping tip, which is just our regular rounded tip. We are going to go ahead and use this to put some frosting around our cupcake, and then we are going to dump it into the graham cracker to coat it. Now we're going to leave the center open because we are going to be putting our design in the center, and we don't want graham cracker on there. Why don't we want graham cracker on there? Because graham cracker does not like to let the frosting stick to it, okay? So we just put it on like this, and then we're just gonna go ahead and dab this. Try not to get it in the center, and we just wanna keep turning it. And there we go. It did get in the center. We're gonna try to just brush off a little bit because you guys will see that it will not stick if we leave that graham cracker there. All right, so that's all we need here. You could also use Oreos if you want to make it like a dark, I want to say sand, but dark dirt. You want to use crumbled up Oreos. But this is for a customer, so she wants it to be with graham crackers, so that's why we're using that today. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do this next one. And they want them all to have this on there, so we're going to go ahead and just kind of try to do all of them that way. Also, let's see. You want to only do a few of these at a time because this frosting will set, okay? So you just want to do a couple of them. Go ahead, dump them in the graham cracker, and then go back and coat some more because it will set on you and then it won't stick. That one looks crazy. Look at that. I had a big chunk in there, y'all. Okay. So there's that. Now we're going to put designs over this, so don't worry if it's not perfect. They won't be able to see that because we are going to decorate over most of it, I would say. All right, so let's set that down. And also, if you guys know me, you guys know that I like to put my cupcakes into the freezer before decorating, and I'm sorry to say that I did not follow my own rules on this one, and I did not put this in the freezer. So these cupcakes are kind of soft, so they're slightly slipping out of my hand. So if you do see anything slip, I'm sorry about that. It's because I did not do what I told you guys to do. When you put them in the freezer, it just makes it a lot easier to handle, to hold when you're decorating, and also the frosting that sets in a whole lot faster because it's cold. It'll freeze your design on it when you go to do your design. All right, so let's do these last two and then we'll get started with our decoration. So succulents are like a favorite amongst everybody, I would say, because I think it's the most creative. You know, unlike just the flowers are very pretty. I do love and prefer to do the flowers, but the succulents are just like super creative when you do them. They really make you stand out. So if you're a baker, this may be something that you want to add to your menu, because it will make you stand out from other bakers in your area. All right, so there we go. All right, so now let's just go ahead and put that back. I'm going to remove this frosting so we can keep some space up in here because I don't like things all extra crowded. Sorry for my language today, you guys. Okay, so now we're going to start with our aloe plant. Okay, so we're going to take our Russian piping tip. Any design will do. Now, like I said, it may or may not stick because I do have some graham cracker in the center, but we're going to try it. We're going to push down slightly hard and try to get this to stick onto the cupcake. We want to make this kind of tall, wiggle it off. There we go, it's stuck. Yes. All right, so we have that one there. We just want to put that kind of tall in the center. Then we're going to go ahead and grab our 366 leaf tip. We're going to squeeze until we see some frosting come out of there. And we're going to start, we want to hold it this way, so kind of like an open mouth. And we want to go straight up and down. Start right next to where we put that little Russian piping tip in the center, which is our tulip. And then when we do it, we want to go up, down, up, down, up, down. So we are slightly moving our hand up, down to create these ridges in the leaf. We want to go around 4 times, okay? And then you want to go to the height of the tulip in the center. Once you do those 4, you want to go in between the creases. Keep it turning, and there should be 4 all the way around here. And then we're going to do 4 more in between these, and we will be done with this one. And 1 more. All right, so there we go. That is our first one. Okay, so let's set that down. We'll set this over here. I'm just going to lean that on there so I don't get any of that frosting on my blackboard. And then the next one we are going to do is we are going to take our 32 tip, which is a lot of times called our cactus tip. There is another one that is bigger that I probably should be using right now, but we're just going to go ahead and use this one since I have it. And we're going to do 3 cactuses going around this particular cupcake, okay? So we're going to start back here, and we're going to squeeze to make it wide, and then up, down, much like the leaves that we had just did. We want to do that kind of high, and then we're going to do 2 shorter ones over here. There's one there, and then there's one there. All right, so we're going to leave that. And then we are going to grab this one, which is, let me check this number because I am not sure what number this tip is. A 2. It is a number 2 tip. I'm sorry, you guys, I had to look. I know my eyes is bad, okay? So I had to hold it kind of close to my face. All right, take that, wipe off that first part so it can come out properly. And so this is the tedious part. If you have the time and the patience, you could do this. If not, go ahead and skip this, okay? Because this is very tedious. If I do this, you get 1 or 2 like this, and that is it. This is so much freaking work to put these little dots to make this cactus look real. Sometimes they'll stick, sometimes they won't. Just wipe it off and then continue on. I'm going to put 1 at the top here. All right, so we just want to keep going around, putting these just in different spots. There's no rhyme or reason to this, just anywhere you like. Let's wipe that off again. And then let's do this last one on this side. This one, I think, because the tip is so little, it's sometimes hard to get out of there. Okay, and then we'll do 1 at the top. All right, so we'll just have that. Why is my thing, it's leaning. My cactus is leaning, so I'm just shaking him over. Okay, so we have that. Then we're gonna go back and take our leaf tip. And we're just gonna fill in where we see like these openings where I didn't cover with the graham cracker. We're just gonna put some leaves in there, just to cover that up, and then add a little extra pizzazz. Okay, let's do 1 in the front. All right, so there we are with that one. All right, so let's set that down. Now, our next one that we're going to do, we are going to do a open flower, but we are going to go back to our Russian piping tip, and we're going to put 1 in the center, because remember that tulip always acts as our glue. Okay. All right, so we have that there in the center. We're going to take this 124 piping tip, which looks like this, and we're going to go ahead and do our open flower. Let's squeeze that out. Okay. And this one, if you are doing this with the graham cracker, it does help to not have graham cracker around this area, because this will not stick at all. I'm telling you, I had to do these yesterday. This order is a 3-day order, so I had to do 100 a day. And when I tried to do this yesterday with that graham cracker on there, it was a pain. Okay, it was a pain. It looks very creative and good with this graham cracker, but y'all, it creates a whole lot more work of trying to get this stuff to stick. All right, so we are going to go one more time, I think. Okay, there we are. And so there is our open flower. All right. So now our next one, we are going to use I think it's a 4 tip, but let me check and make sure. Okay, so our next tip is a 10 tip. It's a number 10, okay? So this one is going to be super cute. I did this for the first time yesterday. I think it came out looking like a real succulent, but you guys could let me know, because we're going to do it, and then just let me know in the comments if you like this one or not. Once again, we're going to do our Russian piping tip in the center, kind of high. Then we are going to grab our 10 piping tip. And all we're going to do is we're just going to stick it here, squeeze, pull out, squeeze, pull out. And we're just going to go all the way around. So the whole point is to just kind of cover up that whole tulip and just go in between each one. I don't know what this plant is called. I have seen it. I know it is a real plant, but I did not remember the name. I don't remember the name of a lot of these plants or flowers. I just look at pictures and try to duplicate. And then you just keep going to the top, and then you want to lift up with your hand. Because we want to cover that tulip that we put in the center that was just acting as our glue. All right, so that looks good. So we're just going to go back in here underneath and then just fill in these open sections so that we don't see any cake under there. And then we will be done with this one. All right, so what do y'all think of that one? I think it's cute. Put one more in there. I think it's super cute. Okay, so we're going to set that to the side. Now we have 2 more. So now we're going to do our peony. So we're going to grab our 121 piping tip. You can also use a 122 or 123. It'll all be the same. It's just the higher the number, the wider the design will be. So instead of using the tulip in the center, we're just going to use this, and we're just going to put just some frosting right there in the center. And then we're just going to go around like this. And you want to just keep curving it around. Now we're going to start touching that graham cracker, because we do want to make sure that this does touch it so that it doesn't get up and move on its own or slide off later, because it's not attached to anything. All right, so there it is. That one's in the center. And then we could also, let's just pat this and make this a little bit more round and cute. Okay, so the last one, we're just once again going to use our 366 leaf tip. And instead of putting the tulip in the center, we're just going to start just working around the edges first instead of in the middle. And we're just going to keep going around and keep stacking up until we fill in this center part. All right, and there we go with that one. So these are your succulent cupcakes. I hope you guys learned something today from this tutorial. I just wanted to come on and show you how to do a different style of succulent cupcakes. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment below. If you have any suggestions or ideas, I am open to them. So leave them in the comments as well, and make sure that you like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next tutorial. Thank you. Bye-bye.